Hey everybody, Joe with Bumbling Acres here. Hope you all are doing well. And today we are going to critique the Back to Eden gardening. Let us take a moment and appreciate that my coffee cup leaves a spot of coffee on my nose that I did not realize throughout the entire shooting of this video. Once you've seen it, you can never unsee it. So welcome to looking at me, looking at my coffee spot for the rest of this video. Enjoy. Style. So stay tuned after our intro video and we'll talk about it. Welcome to Bumbling Acres. We are a small homestead located in southern Indiana. We raise chickens, turkeys, geese, rabbits, and pigs. Join us while we work to foster a healthy relationship between each other, our land, and our greater community. We upload new content regularly and appreciate you being with us today. So, back to Eden style gardening. It's really kind of caught craze in the last couple of years. We heard about it last year and kind of dived into it. Now, for those that don't know, back to Eden style is basically it's the principle of copying what nature does. Nature doesn't till the soil. Nature doesn't break the soil. That's just because bare soil without grass on top of it is weak soil and it degrades. So nature in general, you don't see things breaking the soil. So you look through orchards and you see this a lot with fruit trees, things of that nature, where it's a lot of decaying leaves and that principle that those things are breaking down into the soil and they help create better soil. So if you're doing it, practicing an out of Eden or back to Eden style gardening, you're utilizing a lot of wood chips that break down and increase the quality of your soil and then growing in those wood chips. It's one of the benefits is it improves the soil you're on. Next secondary benefit is that it also makes it a little bit easier for weeding because the weeds don't have the same soil structure to get caught in. Wood chips you can pull out of. So it's kind of caught craze, and I think it's we embraced it in the last year. We're going to do kind of a hybrid version of it next year, but I wanted to critique to make sure those who are interested in doing back to Eden, what they think about it. So as we walk through this space, I think it's important to note that critiquing a garden style is not really a critique of that particular style. It's really a critique of the gardener. And that's this year's garden was not going to be spectacular no matter what we did. What style of gardening we utilized, because put very simply, this summer my wife was pregnant in the third trimester during the heat of the summer. So there was not a whole lot of, this was a neglected garden to say the least. Now that being said, this was all cleared out and all wood chipped up to a foot deep below me where I'm standing, where you see all this real healthy dead grass. So it'll tell you that it does grow quickly back through it. It does create a good soil bed for stuff to grow in as nature has reclaimed our garden space. One of the nice things too, if you watched a video of we had to pull these were the slats for the walls, which I pulled up, but we have really crappy soil in this region of the United States, in the Ohio Valley. We basically have a lot of mud and crud and clay. So actually, if you go into the soil below where this nice bed is growing, it's actually looking very, very nice. We've actually created probably about a 1/4 inch of actual soil below these wood chips. You'll actually see where we're walking into some parts of the wood chips now. So the method does work. It does create great soil quality below it. And we did, even though we incredibly neglected our garden, we had a lot of production out of it that honestly mostly went to our pigs to help offset feed costs. So this was not neglected, and I feel like if we had been doing a traditional gardening style, I honestly don't think it would have worked as well. So my critique of this gardening style isn't that it is not effective. It is very effective and great gardening style. For us, the issue I think is this has been sold to the general public as a kind of a set and forget gardening style. You just throw down some wood chips, put some sand in there, walk through like once a week and do some quick cleanup and you'll have a garden. And that's frankly just not true of any gardening style. I always say in the homesteading world, there's growers and raisers. Growers grow gardens, raisers raise animals. I'm not a green thumb guy. I don't do gardening. It's just not something I enjoy doing, nor something I'm particularly good at. I'm a raiser. I like to raise the animals. So, you know, this is outside of my comfort space. This is my wife's domain. As a good partner in homesteading, I have tended this garden with her, but it's just not something I'm particularly comfortable with and knowledgeable of. So, you know, I would say if you're interested in doing the back to Eden style gardening, it is a great thing to do. When I talked in the beginning, I talked about how we were going to do a hybrid version of it next year. And what we're actually going to do is raised garden beds. And I mean like raised up, at least to where you don't have to stoop over so much. So we're going to convert a large amount of space into raised garden beds. Much if you've seen the Roots and Refuge, the way they have those elevated, that's much of what we're going to do. So it's much larger than where you'll see our original gardening style, those raised beds. Like I want to put up probably 2 or 3 feet. And we're going to layered that with wood chips, mulch, and then grow in those. Make it a little bit easier for us in our back. Me and my wife, and also make it a little bit easier to manage the amount of wood chips that we get. Now we've been able to get some wood chips throughout the year, but another thing you want to think of with this is that wood chips are considering, you know a tree company, call tree companies, get wood chip collections. You can, but wood chips don't just magically appear. You really need to find a source, and I would find a source before you started the gardening style. So you know, and last but not least, when I think about this out of back to Eden style gardening, very effective. It's great for the soil. I think we should all practice some form of it, but it's not magic. You still have to tend to your garden, which just kind of makes sense when you think about it, but I feel like it was kind of sold as a set and forget, and that's not what it is. So there you go. That's the critique of our garden space so far. Hope you like it. One of the things I forgot about this morning is that it is time to rotate our pigs. So they stay in the same pasture area for 2 weeks. We rotate them obviously every 2 weeks. So it is time to rotate them to the next pasture space. You see how this goes. Oh, meow. Always good. Pigs are great. Like, I honestly, they're my favorite animals to raise in the homestead. Yep, pigs. Hey, this is Joe with Bumbling Acres, and I am presently doing circles in a food lot so my baby will stay awake while driving. This is the joy of parenting. The minute the wheels stop turning, the baby wakes up and starts fussing. So, things you don't think about is, I wonder how much gas I use while driving around in circles. But it's worth every moment of it. But I am definitely driving in circles to keep my baby happy. So that was our video today. Once again, back to Eden Style Gardening. We're actually doing a yard sale. A couple times if you've walked around, you may see behind me the yard sale's going on. So back to Eden Style Gardening. It is a legit method, and I think an effective method. It's definitely, I've seen some, I think David Perkins, I've seen who's converted into like a commercial stylization. I actually very much enjoy it. We're just having to tailor it for us, which is what I think you're going to wind up with any gardening style that you do as a homesteader. You're going to find something that works a little bit and you want it to work better. And what do you need to tweak to make it work better? You're always improving it, and that is no exception. Back to Eden Style Gardening is a legit style. It's great to have. Make sure you've got a supply. Make sure that you've got a time and you're going to tend a garden, and put it in a manageable size. So those are my thoughts on the matter. I hope this makes sense. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day. Bye.